Respected Regional Officer cum Training Coordinator, Bihar Zone D, Mr. K.K. Sinha sir, Cluster Heads, Mr. R.C. Sharma sir, and Mrs. Santi Singh madam, and co-resource person, Mr. S. Bhujwal sir, Principal DAV Public School, Jamalpur, and my dear friends from teaching fraternity. I am very fortunate that I have got the opportunity to share my view on the most relevant topic, New Education Policy 2020. My dear friend, first of all, I will discuss what is education policy. Education policy consists of the principles and government policy in the educational sphere as well as the collection of laws and rules that govern the operation of education system. You might know him. After the independence, Indira Gandhi government had launched the new education policy 1968 first time. It is based on recommendation of the Education Commission 1964. From this journey of education policy has started in India. After a 18-year gap, 1986 Rajiv Gandhi government launches new education policy focusing on adult education and empowerment of minorities, and some changes in 1992 in the government of P.V. Narasimha Rao, and after that 2005 during the Manmohan Singh government there are some slight changes in 1986 policy. After that Narendra Modi government launched new education policy 29 July 2020. This policy has tremendous changes from existing education policy to new education policy. Now let's start vision of the National Education Policy 2020. An education system that contributes to an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing high quality education to all. After that, develops a deep sense of respect towards the fundamental rights, duties, and constitutional values, bonding with one's country, and a conscious awareness of one's role and responsibilities in a changing world. Next, instill skills, values, and dispositions that support responsibilities, commitment to human rights, sustainable development and living, and global well-being, thereby reflecting a truly global citizen. Next one, key principles of NEP 2020. These principles used during the drafting of National Education Policy. First one, respect for diversity and local context. In this sense, entire the differences and local themes used for the drafting or framing of curriculum. And next one, equity and inclusion, community participation, use of technology, emphasizing conceptual understanding, unique capabilities, critical thinking and creativity, continuous revisions. These all are parameters as the main principles of New Education Policy 2020. 2020. After that, universal access to early childhood care and education. In this context, beginning introducing students in the school, that is the age group 3 to 8 year, their entire the activity apply in a form of playway methods, activity based. These planning through and touch from the nature. This is the fundamental learning curriculum, universal access, preparatory classes, multifaceted, that means flexible, multi-level, play-based, activity-based, and inquiry-based learning has proposed in the new education policy 2020. Early childhood education, that means learning in the formative years. That means in the formative years, numbers of the parameters introduced for the knowledge development. First one, developing curiosity, logical thinking and problem solving, arts, crafts and music, relationship with nature, colors, spheres, alphabets, numbers, teamwork and collaboration, play-based and discovery-based learning, ethics, self-identity, aesthetic behavior and emotional development. These all are the parameters apply for the grooming of new school going children, that means classes up to 5. After that, innovative pedagogy, transforming teaching learning process. This is the very big changes from existing education structure to new education structure. Experiential learning, integrated pedagogy, promotion of peer tutoring, equal weightage, bagless days, use of integration of technology. These all are the basic parameters apply for the grooming of the child. First one, experiential learning, that means focus on experiential inquiry and discovery based teaching learning methods. Integrated pedagogy means arts, sports, storytelling, ICT, and entire the branches of the science integrated to each other and their develop conceptual knowledge. In this sense, promotion of peer tutoring, that means friends and other persons, they help to the children for the grooming of the knowledge is required in this education policy. Equal weightage, no hard separation between curricular, co-curricular and extracurricular area. Freedom of choosing a variety of subject combination to be provided. Bagless days, that means nowadays childhood period, there is a heavy loaded bag carry from home to school. This is the big challenge to reduce load of physical or mental pressure of the student. That means bagless day to be scheduled in academic calendar. And nowadays technology play a very vital role for the development of knowledge. That's why in new education policy their technology apply for the development of knowledge. After that, multilingualism and the power of learning, language learning, medium of instruction not imposed by the board as well as school. Medium of instruction started from the students apart, that means home language, mother tongue, local language apply for the development of the knowledge. In this way, natural way, students grooming knowledge will start. And the language of India, a fun project activity on to be taken by every student. Three languages to be taught will be decided by state or union territories. All classical languages will be widely available in schools as options. Next one, integration vocational education at all levels. In recent existing education structure, their vocational subject is started from secondary and higher secondary level, but in this education policy, vocational subject, vocational activity is started from 6th onward classes. Numbers of the parameters given on this slide. First one, Lok Vidya, practice based curriculum, skill framework, open distance learning mode, vocational crafts, explore to vocational education, skill gap analysis. These are the areas through vocational language, vocational learning, vocational education impart to the student. Next, very important aspect of the session is school education system. School education system change from existing education system to new education system. Existing education system, there are 10+2 system, but recent new education policy there apply 5+3+3+4 school education system. 5 years of foundational stage for ages 3 to 8 years for classes Anganwadi, pre-school class 1 and 2. The foundational stage of education as per the national education policy will be comprises 3 years or preschool or Anganwadi education followed by 2 years of primary. This stage will focus on teaching in play-based or activity-based methods and on the development of language skills. 3 years of preparatory stage for ages 8 to 11 for classes 3 to 5. The focus in the preparatory stage will remain on language development and numeracy skills. Here, the method of teaching and learning would be play and activity based and also include classroom interaction and the element of discovery. 3 years of middle stage for age 11 to 14 for classes 6 to 8. As per the new education policy 2020, this stage of school education will focus on critical learning objectives, which is a big shift from the rote learning methods used in our education system for years. This stage will work on experiential learning in the science, maths, arts, social science and humanity etc. 4 years of secondary stage for ages 14 to 18 years for classes 9 to 12. This stage will cover 2 phases, classes 9 and 10 and classes 11 and 12. The main changes in these classes is the shift to a multidisciplinary system where students will have access to a variety of subject combinations that they can choose as per their skill and interest area instead of being strictly divided into arts, science, and commerce categories. This stage will again push for gather critical thinking and flexibility in the thought process. Now, comparison between existing academic structure and new academic structure. Existing academic structure, that means 10 plus 2 system, and new academic structure, that means foundational stage, preparatory stage, middle stage, and secondary stage. This way a student come more practical comparison to existing academic structure. Now I will discuss examination. Examination pattern also change now. The new NEP 2026 to test the students of classes 3, 5, 8, 10, and on the basis of their cognitive skills, board exams pattern are set to change. Report cards will look different and more detailed, and a new standard setting body product has been proposed to guide testing and all recognized school education board. As per NEP 2020's highlights on schooling, all students will take school examination in grade 3, 5, and 8 also, which will test achievement of basic learning outcomes and application of knowledge in real life situation. That means not only rote learning, that means a student tested from real life situation, but earlier, that means in existing academic structure, they are only tested by the bookies or prescribed content. But in this new education policy examination pattern, they are real life situation tested of a student. Now board exams also convert in form of easier, although there will be a continuous of board exams for classes 10 and classes 12. However, as per the new NEP 2020, the board exams will be made easier. The class 10 board exams and class 12 board exams will test primary core capacities, competencies, rather than months of coaching or memorization. The new education policy 2020 also mentions that boards may over time also develop further viable models of exams, including annual, semester, or modular exams. These models will offer all subjects beginning with mathematics at two levels, two parts exams of objective types and descriptive types. That means earlier coaching or memorization system has converted into annual, semester, or modular. That means part by part content tested from the student. Examination in grade 1 to 8, that means first one, key stage assessment, achievement of critical learning outcomes, moving away from rote learning, assessment of core concept and knowledge, higher order skill and its application in real life situation, moving away from rote learning. That means existing academic structure, there is the pressure on rote learning, but in this education testing, they are remove rote learning or experiences or natural learning will start from the new education policy. Results of school examinations. The result of school examination will be used only for development process and for continuous monitoring and improvement of the schooling system. Reforming examination in grade 9 and 2 including board exams. That means I have discussed board exams will be made easier as they will tested primary core capacities or competencies, and guideline will be prepared by NCERT in consultation with SCERT's boards and assessment and Parak. Teachers will be prepared for a transformation of the assessment system by the 2022 or 23 academic session. Each school board shall issue equivalent of academic standards in learners' attainments, standards, norms and guidelines for school boards through PRAC national centers. Now, assessment process also has changed as per the draft National Education Policy 2020. The progress card of all students for school-based assessment will be redesigned. The report cards will be made a holistic 368-degree multi-dimensional report and reflect in great details the progress and the uniqueness of each learner in the cognitive, affective and psychomotor domains. The report card as per the draft New Education Policy 2020 seeks to include self-assessment, peer assessment and teachers assessment. That means this is the big change from existing education structure to new education structure. In this educational structure, in this new education policy, student check, assess by himself as well as by the teacher and by the friend or peers. So this is the very important change of the assessment of the knowledge. The performance assessment, review and analysis of knowledge for holistic development or PRAC will be set up a National Assessment Center to act as a standard setting body for setting norms, standards and guidelines for student assessment and evaluation for all recognized school boards. Now, last conclusion of the session with a clear.
Good afternoon to everybody. Thank you, Shivshankar ji, for your effective and attractive presentation. I think already all of you are knowing about this new education policy. But I want to give some of the insights regarding this new education policy that will cover the new dimensions which I think it is needed for everyone. I shall cover some of the things. First, why there is need of this new education policy. Second, I shall discuss what is the expectation from teachers, students and schools. And finally, I shall discuss how we will have to collaborate with the parents and society to achieve this, the goal of new education policy. Friends, before going to discuss regarding what is the need of new education policy, there will be definitely different questions will arise in our mind. First thing, everyone will think that old education policy became outdated and it is not having relevance. But I want to give some light regarding what is expected from the education system. Education, defined by the father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi, education is the all-round drawing out the best in child and man, body, mind and spirit. It means education is not only required for the child, it is required for the man. Even for the teacher, it is required. So, if there will be development of body, mind and spirit, then the purpose of education will be achieved. If we consider Swami Vivekananda, he defined education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. Man is having that perfection, but that is need to be ignited. Friends, I want to listen from all of you and also know from all of you. Everyone is telling there is negativity, there is corruption, there is crime. That means we have ignited that negativity among the students and among the society. So, the purpose of education is not achieved. According to Swami Vivekananda, we are having that system of education which only having clerical culture. So what is needed? According to him, there is need of that education which will produce proper human being, which will prepare one to stand on his or own feet. So this type of education is required. But if we consider regarding the expectation, general expectation of the people that education should provide employability. If we consider regarding employability, whether our system of education is able to provide the true employability, definitely answer will be no. Because one study reveals that out of the 80% of the engineers, they are not able to do any job. So then, what is the purpose of education and what we have achieved by following the education system which is going on? So, there is need of changes in the education system. So, come to the changes in the education, then there is need of planning. So, I want to show that already Shiv Shankar ji has explained the major changes in the education system in India, 1968, 86, and we are having now 2020, and we are having this new education policy. So there is need of planning. If we will not plan, then we cannot achieve the goal. Benjamin Franklin has defined, if you fail to plan, then you are planning to fail. So as government has decided and it has planned, so the target is to achieve. If we will plan, whether we will be able to achieve, I think definitely answer will be no. Then what is needed for that? There is planning, then we should have to execute, then we'll have to see whether our effort is in the right direction or not. Similarly, there may be positive result, there may be negative result, because when we take any decision, then there may be positive impact, there may be negative impact, but we'll have to see how we can avoid these negative impacts and how we can take the benefits of the positive impacts. So, regarding this new education policy, friends, it is expected that teachers, parents, society will have to prepare a child where he is not knowing for which job he will be fit, but he will have to prepare for that. He is not knowing that technology, but he must be ready to use that technology. And he is not knowing the social changes, but he must equip himself to adjust with that social changes. So, this is the main purpose of new education policy, and in this new education policy, I briefly discuss regarding what is expected from the students, what is expected from the parents, and what is expected from the society, what is expected from the teachers. So, as I have told regarding planning, that new education policy is having detailed planning. It will start 9th in the year 2020-21, 10th 2022-23, 11th 2023-24, and 12th it is having 2024-25. Then in this there is also timeline of the implementation. National Curricular Framework for School Education by 2021 and 22. Similarly, National Curricular Framework for Teacher Education by 2021-22. Teacher Preparedness for Transformation in Assessment System will be 2022-23. Common Guideline set for National Professional Standards for Teacher will be 2022-23. So, teachers must be prepared to accept these changes. By 2025-26, it is expected that attending universal fundamental literacy, numeracy in all primary schools for all learners up to grade 3, and at least 50% of the learners exposed to vocational education in high school and higher education. So it is clear. Similarly, in the year 2029 and 30, universal provision of quality childhood development care means by the year 2030, we can provide education to all the students up to the secondary level, and teacher education will be gradually be moved into multidisciplinary colleges and universities. And this policy, new education policy, will be fully operational by the year 2040. So it is having clear-cut objective and targets. Already Shiv Shankar ji explained what is expected at the early childhood care, primary, secondary, all these. My concern is only for the schools. So, child, everything is kept in this new education policy, that is keeping child as the center. So, what is the role of the teacher and what is teaching? Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. It is given by Nelson Mandela. So if you want to change India, then through education we can change it. One thing that due to COVID, there is new problem, and as a teacher, as a part of the school, that will have to take care of all these things, because due to COVID-19, most of the students, they are not able to come to the school, and students are not having this mobile and other electronics gadgets to use these online classes. So that problem must be solved, and dropout should not be there. It should be taken care of. Similarly, some of the students are from different socio-economically disadvantaged groups. That should be taken care of. Some, they are not physically fit enough to attend the classes. So through different means we can help them, so that this discontinuity will be avoided. Regarding this early childhood care, teachers should take care of each child, and they should create interest in the subject, in the topic. They should teach the students in the play method, activity-based teaching. They should encourage the students regarding cleanliness, regarding social care. All these things should be given importance in the primary and early childhood level. And there should be alternative forms of schooling, maintain inclusive and cleanliness infrastructure, inclusive education. That means we should take some of the disadvantaged sections of the society that may be socially, economically backward sections of the society, that may be physically challenged students. So all these things should be taken care of. Already you have known, and Shiv Shankar ji has discussed all these things, and now I am coming to this upper primary introduction of the subject teachers for learning and discussion of the more abstract concept in each subject. So in the primary level, we are going in the concrete level, but in the upper primary, we can go to the abstract level. And in secondary and senior secondary, we can give emphasis on depth of any subject, critical thinking, flexibility, and choice of subject, as he has discussed in detail regarding how there will be flexibility. There will not be clear-cut distinction, arts, science, commerce, like that. So all these things will be there. And regarding assessment of the students, friends, it is not the aim of new education policy is to test the rote memory, rather to assess the students as a total human being. What is the progress of the students as a in terms of behavior, attitude, work, everything. So we'll have to take care of that. no shears, silos. What is the meaning of that? Silos means where we can keep the food grains. So it is not the memory to keep the data or facts. Rather, we'll have to understand and we'll have to do and apply it in our life. There should be flexibility connecting to the child in the mother tongue, because we are giving importance only to other languages, but concept and understanding of the students, that is not giving importance. So if we teach in the mother tongue, that problem will be solved. So competence-based multidisciplinary approach should be used. Vocational and skill development, that should be given importance. Knowledge of India, that students should know not only India, because we are always in favor of this concept, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So we should prepare the student to accept the good things from other countries, and we also empower the students what is happening in the world. They should be ready to accept if it is right. Similarly, it is also giving importance ICT, innovation, all these things that should be taken care of. So in achievement standards, we cannot consider only the marks of the students. Friends, for that, I think all of you are understanding. Now, if I want to present all these things, what is expected from this new education policy, what should be the development in the students, then that can be known from this diagram. See, if it is expected from this, that will be developing media fluency, technological fluency, information fluency, teaching using project-based learning, incorporating sustainable technology, collaboration should be there, and also should be this interdisciplinary. It is also developing problem-solving skills, assessing students with timely and appropriate feedback, relevant tasks, self and peer assessment. So it is not the teachers only assess, he or she can assess. Peer can assess whether real learning is going on or not. And digital tools will be used. Encouraging collaboration with team skills, interdisciplinary approach, effective communication skills, suitable technologies, and teaching and developing thinking skills. So it is a complete approach, a new dimensional approach of learning which is expected in the new education. For assessing the development of the students and of the school, there will be school standard setting authority will be there, and PARAK, performance assessment, review, analysis, and knowing the holistic development of the students, PARAK will be there, and it will have a report card which will show the multidimensional progress of the students. So all these things will be there, and if any student is not able to perform, then the care should be taken by the personal care should be taken by the teachers. And in a particular class, if more than 80% students are not able to score more than 20%, then there will be reteach. So all these things will be there, and there will be pre-teach, peer-tutoring, pre-assessment. All these things will be done. So there will not be scope for any problem with the students. Now come to teachers. Good teaching is more a giving of right questions than of giving of right answers. So the role of the teacher is to develop curiosity in the students. So it is not to memorize the right answer. That curiosity should be developed by the teacher, and teacher will do that. Definitely some of the teachers are not techno-savvy, but friends, don't worry. Technology will not replace teachers, but teachers who use technology will probably replace the teachers who do not. So it is compelling us to be techno-savvy, and I expect all of us should try to improve in that aspect. And during this 26th conference of Sahadev, our Honorable Education Minister told it will not be easy to be a teacher rather than an IAS. Friends, also he has explained that not the process of selection only, but a teacher who is having passion for this profession and having the passion to sacrifice. So that should be, and being a teacher, all these things should be taken care of. A teacher should recognize the unique and nurturing. A teacher should identify and recognize nurturing unique potential of a child, and also should give importance for the health, and must improve himself or herself. One class, there is need of 1.5 teachers. That means, suppose in a class we are having 40 students, if we are considering, 1.5 class means 60. 60 students, there is need of 1.5 teachers. But now it will become 30:1 students. Means it will be almost 1.5 ratio. So, friends, what will have to do? All the teachers' strength will increase, also, but individual and personal care of the students, it is required. And for the teacher, 50 days personal development course, it is 50 hours professional development, it is required. So, and also all the teachers will have to do work in Disha and soil. So, in this regard, there will be definitely enhancement of quality of the teachers. There will be one testing agency, that is National Testing Agency. In this process, there will be TTs. And from the early childhood to the secondary level, all the teachers will have to qualify that examination. So, all these things for the teachers that will have to do, and teachers will have to take care of the children of the different stratas of the society. It is not only that, it is expecting from the parents and also community. We are knowing in our community there are many resources which we are not using. There will be Just like special economic zones, there will be special education zone. So there will be collaboration and there will be cooperation between the different schools. Government schools and private schools can share their resources, can share their manpower. So it will lead to overall development. Whether it is government school, whether it is private school, there will be minimum standard for every teacher. So, if we consider regarding parents, it is the role of the school to make them involved in different activities. And if there will be productive discussion with the parents, then we can know what is the problem, physical, learning disabilities of the child, and also if there is any substance abuse, sexual orientations, or any other problems, that problem can be solved. And for every class, there should be parents, representative, who can give the feedback regarding that class. Although we are having parents representative in the school, but it is expected that from every class there will be parent representative. So in this new education policy, it is expected that both principal, teachers, schools and parents, community, there should be active and effective participation. If it will be done, then the objective of the child for the all-round development will be achieved. I expect all of you might have got the basic things regarding this new education policy. Still, if there is any type of query, we are happy to share that. And also you are knowing, as this is in the initial stage, there may be some changes, and we should gladly accept it. And also I am expecting from your side any valuable suggestions. Thank you. Namaste.